What's up, YouTube? Mac here, bringing you guys another episode of New Meta Mondays. If you guys are hyped for this episode, please go ahead and Mac attack the hell out the like button, as your support is greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to answer the question of the day. The question is your favorite Pokemon game or generation, and why? Mine was Pokemon Crystal / Gen 2. Probably just because of the fact that there was 16 badges that you could actually go out and collect. So it actually allowed for a bit more gameplay than some of these other games that, after you sort of beat the Elite Four, you're sort of done. But anyways, that was sort of my favorite game growing up, and so now we're actually going to get into the actual New Meta Mondays. Hopefully my door doesn't slam behind me because the window's open in my room. But so anyways, yeah, so we actually had a couple suggestions this week. One from VGA, VideoGaminAZN, and the next from the Chomping Mega, or TCM. So we're just gonna, I've sort of left this one back blank because I want to circle back to it, because this is basically pretty much the main one that I could actually see people using a little bit. But for the most part, this is a pretty standard, I think, Genesect, Choice Scarf Genesect, Hasty, I think Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, U-Turn for the Switch Initiative. It's pretty standard. This is the same Magnium from last week, except I think that one had HP Rock, but I didn't realize that Ancient Power was an egg move, so that's why I switched it up. This Dedenne, I don't know why I put an Enigma Berry on it. That should probably be taken off for leftovers, or even maybe an Assault Vest, but maybe run like a max attack, max HP Assault Vest set or something like that. Could work. I went with Enigma Berry just because of its cheek pouch. After he eats the berry, he gets a third of its HP back. That's one of the reasons why I went with the berry, but I think it's pretty good supportive mon, and the overall play rough. Its stab, Nuzzle, 100% paralyze, U-turn, switch initiative. It actually has base 101 speed, so that's actually a really good base speed for this Pokemon, who is he's in PU, so he's a pretty low tier. So I'm not sure how many Pokemon down in that tier can actually outspeed 101, actually outspeed base 101. Special attack at 81 is also doable as well. I don't know what moves it learns on a special side, but this was sort of just a throw-in and a nice little reference to VideoGaminAZN's, the guy that we actually have this Uber battles against. And I'll leave the link to his Twitter page and to his YouTube page down in the comments down below in the description. And this is actually in reference to his Pokemon Y Let's Play. He's got because Y, you start with Pikachu. His Pikachu's name is Choo-Choo, so I just thought I needed a 6th, so I just threw it in there. Now this Audino, I can't remember. I think this came up from a random battle I was watching. It's actually, I don't think it's a terrible overall set for an Enumon. Choice Band might seem like an odd choice for him, but because of his Regenerator ability, you can actually pair a Stab Choice Banded Double Edge with Regenerator and not have to worry about taking the recoil damage. I didn't run any calcs, but I might post. There might be somewhere on here. There might be a little note, just a little quick damage calc of what a Choice Banded Double Edge does from an Audino versus some Pokemon in the NU tier. But I just thought, why not? It's definitely different. Drain Punch helps us to get back some HP knockoff for the items, and actually saw, because it's also stabbed as well. But if he burns or poisons or he gets paralyzed, then that gets doubled. So I mean, he's hitting what would that be? 3105. What, base 1? I I don't know how power double if it's power. So what that'd be up to what 140 plus stab. That's what base 210. So we can actually hit pretty hard, and that's not even including the choice banding down here. So I don't think it's actually out of the question. So I'm going to now go back into the two sort of suggested Pokemon. This was actually suggested by VideoGaminAZN. He suggested a Deoxys D. I actually did a couple battles with Assault Vest. His HP stat is so terrible, base 50, that I figured the passive recovery from leftovers will be much more appreciated than an Assault Vest, especially because he has base 160 special defense. But he actually doesn't have too bad. His attack and special attack are sort of, they're not great, but they're not terrible. Base 90 speed is actually pretty decent. Maybe not in the Ubers tier, but definitely in lower tiers is actually pretty decent. Overall, what do you call it? Base. That's a pretty good overall base speed. He suggested that I would run a defensive Deoxys offensively. So I went with Drain Punch for recovery, Extreme Speed for priority, Knockoff for Pokemon that was switching, expecting this to be some sort of support mon, and Ice Punch for dragons and flying types, etc. So it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you can. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, you could probably be running even a Calm Minding, Dark Pulse, Energy Ball. I mean, he's got Flash Cannon, a bunch of hidden powers. Does he like Psychic? So you could actually, that probably looking back on it, a Calm Minding set with a Modest Nature would actually probably be a little bit better. You do lose the speed, the priority, but a Calm Minding set actually probably be better. Even learns a Nasty Plot, yeah. So definitely and recover, but definitely a Pokemon I didn't really fully think through looking back at him. If anybody wanted to use an offensive Deoxys D, I would suggest either a Calm Mind or a Nasty Plot recover set with probably Psychic or Psyshock, whichever, and maybe even Shadow Ball. But yeah, so I'm spending a little bit too much time on him, but that's because I just went back and looked through it. But I think it's actually not terrible because he does actually have decent speed, and he has great defenses that you could actually probably run. Even a max HP, max defense, Calm Minding set would probably actually be a little bit better. Like you could almost do what's a bold set with recover, Calm Mind, Psychic, and Shadow Ball would probably actually be a better overall set looking at it. But anyways, I think it's actually doable. Maybe not in the Ubers tier, but if it ever dropped back down, it could be. So I'm gonna go back to our Manectric, which is basically what this team's based upon. This suggestion came from TCM with what do you call it? Using a Hidden Power Grass Manectric. I don't think it's terrible. It basically comes down to whether or not you guys are having problems with Pokemon, say like Rotom Wash, Swamperts, Gastrodons, stuff like that. Anything that's sort of weak to grass but not weak to electric. I think it actually could be done. I went with Volt Switch. Thunderbolt is completely usable. But I just went with Volt Switch to switch for Switch Initiative. Overheat, Flamethrower. It depends on what you really want here. If you don't mind the -2, then you can run Overheat. If you don't like the -2, I believe you does learn Flamethrower. So it's either way. Now typically Manectrics are run Hidden Power Ice, but in order to overcome that deficiency, I decided to run Ice Fang. and I actually did some calcs on it, and this spread here that I'm typing in right now actually is good enough to 2-hit KO a Garchomp. You might want to check for level 50 to see if damages are a little bit different. But with these EVs, the way that I've set it up here, Ice Fang 2-hit KOs non-scarfed Garchomps. So if you know your opponent's not scarfed, then you can easily hit him with an Ice Fang. I didn't check some other dragons like Dragonite, Salamances, etc. You do have to watch that this is a physical move, so it's something to keep an eye for. That it's not special, so Intimidates from Lando T's and Salamances will be a pain. But anyways, that's sort of how this team is shaping up. And we're actually going to get into the battle here after I quit Showdown. And I'm just going to hit play here and turn this down a little bit. This battle was actually against, like I said, VideoGaminAZN, and his link to his YouTube will be down below. But this is also a Pokemon he suggested, this Superior here. I don't know what it is, if it's max HP, max special attack, but it's a Glare Synthesis, probably some sort of Giga Drain or probably Leaf Storm because it's contrary. But anyways, with the fact that Dragon Tail for the switch out. But anyways, as you see, the Ice Fang actually doesn't do too much, so he actually might be physically defensive now that I look at it. Because that only did, where's that Ice Fang? Where is it? Ice Fang only did about 27%, so... But I just like to point out that even though that was a crit on the Aegislash, that knockoff from a Choice Banded Audino did 84%. So I think it's just something worth noting that a Choice Banded Audino is actually not that crazy of an idea. But yeah, so this thing here, shout out to Dave, but that's actually TCM, the Chomping Mega. I've never actually done Uber's battles, so I have no idea what... I knew Mega Mawile was an absolute beast, but I was hoping... I probably should have predicted that switch there, but anyways, this Kyogre, the Zekrom, and the Mega Mawile I've never actually really seen much use of. So it's those are Pokemon that I don't really know what players out there actually use these for. But so that's more or less on me, not knowing exactly what these things do. Judging by that damage, I'm gonna say that was probably some sort of defensive Zekrom. But anyways, yeah, I think at some point he gets into his Mega Mawile and it just absolutely abolishes me. At this point he probably realizes that I am for sure scarfed into Ice Beam. So I'm basically, this Mega Mawile, I basically can't do a whole lot to. I didn't realize that Mawile itself isn't really overly that fast, but I was hoping that Drain Punch would do more, but yeah, so, I mean, I think he basically gets a Mawile sweep for the most part, from what I can tell. If I maybe did more Ubers, I'd know better, but I'm pretty sure we're almost at the end of this battle, so we're going to start wrap things up here, but don't forget for next week to suggest some Pokemon for me to use, because I really do want some suggestions from you guys, my viewers, about what Pokemon you want me to see me using. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, guys.